The Opioid Epidemic by Victoria Gonzalez. Where it all began. The opioid epidemic began in the 1990s with overprescription of opioid drugs. This led to many deaths and has only gotten worse over the years. Doctors began overprescription of opioids to their patients because they had begun to expect a pain-free care. And doctors, to satisfy their patients, began to prescribe opioids even when not necessary. Opioids change the chemistry of your brain. When patients would take opioids that weren't necessary, they would alter their brain chemistry by flooding the brain with dopamine, causing lifelong addiction. Today, the overprescription and overconsumption of opioids has only continued to get worse. With little monitoring systems, many patients work around the system until they can get the prescriptions that they want to fuel their addictions. As well, patients often who are addicted, who can no longer obtain these drugs through their doctors, will now turn to illegal ways to achieve these drugs, which are oftentimes significantly less safe and has a higher likelihood of having these drugs laced with something else, causing many, many more deaths. The opioid epidemic by numbers. 10.1 million people misused prescription opioids in the past year alone. 1.6 million people had opioid use disorder in the past year. And 70,630 people have died from drug overdoses in 2019 alone. How do we prevent this and stop this from getting worse? The types of preventions that we can use include going from at the national level, the community level, and the individual level. Prevention of the national scale would be instituting policies and laws against opioids and overprescription of opioids as well. We should also begin laws that criminalize doctors who overprescribe opioids in order to ensure that doctors only prescribe opioids when absolutely necessary. At the community level, drug monitoring systems can be put in place to see conflicting histories with patients that indicate a predisposition to addiction. Monitor the dosage doctors are prescribing to ensure it is within reasonable limits, as well as ensure that the patient is not also taking opioids at the same time that were prescribed by a different doctor. Finally, at the personal level, we'll need to be more proactive and not reactive. We need to reach out to individuals and educate them. Many people do not understand the dangers of opioids until it is too late. Reaching them before they begin addiction and educating them on the dangers is essential to stopping this epidemic. Here are my references. Thank you.